As of this recording, Spider-Man Far From Home is officially out, and I had the opportunity to see it about 4 hours ago, and in 4DX, which I should add is not the best choice if you have third-degree sunburns. Don't believe me? Take a look. If this doesn't look right, just like Photoshop it. Anyway, I digress. The film does not disappoint, so don't worry guys, we do not have a case of Spider-Man 3 on our hands. Thank God. So today on Beyond the Screen, I'm going to be giving you all the deets on what went down, specifically in the last few minutes of the film, as well as the post-credit scenes. Both of them. That's right, there were two. Saying that, there will be spoilers. Tons of spoilers. I can't filter myself, and I'm assuming because you're watching this video, you want a completely unfiltered explanation. So with that, let's jump in. As we know, the Spider-Man film followed Peter Parker as he's forced to team up with the new hero on the block, Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. However, that team up crumbles pretty quickly when Mysterio, aka Quentin Beck, is revealed to be a villain from our dimension. I warned you guys, spoilers galore. Most of the world believed the facade except for Peter, who figured out his secret and that his powers are actually non-existent, and instead everything we see and the world sees is an illusion in order for Beck to become the new famous super on the block. Around 3/4 of the way through the film, Peter teams up with Happy Hogan, Nick Fury and his friends in an attempt to bring Quentin down during a battle in London, England, with our favourite friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man defeating this wannabe hero. However, the battle is far from over. Before we get into that though, let's discuss Peter and MJ, which aside from all the superhero business, is the primary focus of the film. Peter and the rest of his class are on a school trip, with Peter's main objective being to finally confess his feelings for MJ by gifting her with a Black Dahlia necklace. Because of the murder, a line that is repeated throughout. Meaning yes, there is a ton of humour in this film, and it's great, believe me. After many failed attempts, Peter finally gets his chance after the Battle of London, and, big spoiler here, after MJ discovers that Peter is in fact Spider-Man. It was a very sweet moment guys. They share a touching moment on Tower Bridge and even share a few kisses, as well as get to finally have a date once back in New York, with Spidey swinging around the city with a very scared MJ in his arms, with her stating that she is never doing that again. This beautiful moment is destroyed instantly though when we are met with our first post-credit scene. After Peter and MJ have their flying date, an emergency broadcast begins to play on a billboard, showing a video Beck made in his final moments before Peter takes him down. Beck reveals Spider-Man to be the villain of the London attacks, once again using his illusion skills to do this as well as some fancy editing. Not just that though, he then ends his broadcast by telling the world that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Honestly, I still have chills. This is a game changer considering that Peter Parker is all about concealing his identity. So moving forward in the MCU opens a lot of room for different ideas and perhaps even storylines focusing on more of the underground hidden Avengers teams that exist. Not only is this bad news for Peter, but it's also bad news for the rest of the world now that there is no hero to turn to that they trust. Cap and Iron Man are gone, Thor and Captain Marvel are in space, and Black Panther is busy running a country. So saying that, who will the people turn to? Probably not Doctor Strange because we just don't care enough about him. However, the greatest thing to come from this first post-credit scene is J. Jonah Jameson, played once again by J.K. Simmons, who is reprising his role as the controversial anchor of the Daily Bugle. This is great, yes, but it also sets up a potentially weird universe for the future of the MCU. How can the same character played by the same actor appear in two iterations of Spider-Man? Now, it's most likely a fun nod to the fans, and unlikely that his previous experience with Peter Parker will be considered canon, because how can they? They can't, that's just weird. In a much lighter post-credit scene, we are met with Nick Fury and Maria Hill driving in a car following the mayhem that ensued. However, things take a hilarious turn when they are quickly revealed to be Skrulls, specifically Talos, played once again by Ben Mendelsohn, as well as a female Lieutenant Skrull. But don't worry guys, our favourite S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are good. Talos calls up Fury stating, "Everyone keeps asking me where the Avengers are, and I don't know what to say," which is actually a nod to earlier on in the film when Peter asks where Captain Marvel and Thor are, with Fury, well Talos stating, do not invoke her name. We then head up to space and find Nick Fury taking a relaxing and much needed break, revealing to us that he sent his new Skrull friends down to do his hero work. But more than that, it opens up the possibility of retconning previous films. When we've seen Fury, was it always Fury, or was it actually Talos? So the question is, where do we go from here? What's lined up next? Well, most thought the next big arc would be Secret Invasion, a storyline from the comics which centered on a Skrull invasion of Earth, with the Skrulls replacing humans with their shapeshifted doppelgangers. However, in Captain Marvel, it was quickly established that the Skrulls were the good guys and the Kree, the blue guys, were instead the villains. However, keep your ears open for a specific line in Far From Home, because now that we know Fury was actually Talos, it changes the game completely. In an earlier scene from the film, Fury, Talos, says to Maria Hill, also a Skrull, I quote, "I thought Kree having sleeper cells was top secret information." That's right, could this in fact mean that heading into Phase 4, we could finally see the Skrull-Kree war come to life? What do you guys think though? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. So, are you excited to see Far From Home? And are you looking forward to Phase 4 of the MCU and a potential Skrull-Kree war? I certainly am. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another Beyond the Screen vid. And until next time, see you later.